and welcome back to the Marketing for Learning podcast. It's Hannah here with you today, and I'm here with another short bite-sized episode. And this week I want to talk to you about Pinocchio. No, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the importance of not lying, although the importance of not lying in marketing is probably quite a worthwhile episode. But I want to talk to you about something called the Pinocchio protocol. And it's a thought that came into my inbox last week from a guy called Seth Godin. Seth Godin, for those of you that don't know, he's famous in marketing circles. He's an entrepreneur, he is an author, and he just knows his stuff about marketing. And I'm subscribed to his newsletter, so every day I get a really short, bite-sized email through with Seth's thought of the day, essentially. And last week, as I said, it was the Pinocchio protocol. This one caught my attention because I was like, why on earth is he talking about Pinocchio? And the essence of the email was that Pinocchio would have actually lied more if the repercussion of lying wasn't so obvious, if his nose didn't grow every time he told a lie. So what does this tell us about marketing? And more importantly, what does it teach us about marketing for learning? So a few other examples in Seth's email brought this to life a bit more for me. And one of them was that fewer people would start smoking if the medical impact of smoking actually appeared on your face instantly rather than in your lungs over time, for example. There was also an example that he gave about a gas leaf blower, and if the smoke that came out of the gas leaf blower was thick, black, horrible smoke, people would have stopped using them a long time ago. But instead, the smoke's invisible, so we don't think about the impact it's having. And this teaches us a lesson about marketing, and probably more so humans. Because as humans, we are very good at ignoring and deprioritizing the gradual growth of something, whether that's positive or negative. We can more easily ignore the fact that we are lying because our noses don't grow every time we lie. We can more easily ignore the fact that the gas leaf blowers are bad for the environment because we can't see the thick black smoke. And that got me thinking, are we making it too easy for our people to ignore the benefits of learning? And I quickly came to the conclusion that yes we are. So what I want to talk to you today is about bringing those benefits right up into your people's faces. Making sure that they realise the benefit of learning today. Almost to make sure that their noses are growing every time they're doing a piece of learning, like Pinocchio's does every time he lies. So they are seeing the tangible output of the thing they are doing. But that's quite tricky in learning, especially when we are now in an age where a lot of the things and the skills that we need our people to learn are actually quite future focused. And they're things that perhaps don't have the biggest impact today. So how can we make our learning feel more tangible and the benefits of our learning feel more tangible today, rather than leaving it to, hey, your future self will thank you? Because that's been done and it worked the first time and has been decreasing in success exponentially every time it's been used ever since. So what can we do to bring the outputs of our learning much closer to today? I was actually on a call with a client this morning talking through a strategy I've created for them. And one of the stakeholders on the call said, I just don't think we're very good at making it really clear to people that learning is a lot more than a formal program. We never consider the bite-sized learning. And by that, she didn't actually mean bite-sized learning as in e-learning that's short. What she meant, and she went on to explain, was read this PDF, check out this 30-second video, do this short, snappy thing in the flow of work. And I actually don't think many learning functions are embracing this part of learning enough. And that's typically because we can't measure it as effectively as we can an e-learning course or a classroom where you can count the number of people that are in the room. But that kind of learning is really important in embracing the Pinocchio protocol and making people want to learn more over time. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a personal example here. Some of you may know, I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before, I've actually got a degree in economics. It's a long story about why that happened. I've always wanted to be a marketer, so yeah, if you ever catch me at a networking event, ask me about it. But the bit of economics I really did enjoy was behavioural economics, so the human side of economics. Not a surprise. But I hadn't really touched it for many years after I graduated. I moved on, I was in marketing. I wasn't really thinking about behavioural economics, and certainly not economics at all, to be honest. I tried to forget it and bar it from my memory. But then I stumbled across an Instagram page called Choice Hacking. I was like, oh, I really like what this lady's saying about marketing and user experience and customer experience. And I was learning a lot just from little carousels she was putting up on Instagram. Then that made me go, well, I want to know more. And then I realised she had a podcast. And I was like, oh, I want to listen to this podcast. And the podcast has kept me company on many a walk now. And now I'm like, oh, what more can I go and learn about behavioural economics? What can I learn more about how people tick? And I'm genuinely fired up to learn more. But the reason I'm fired up isn't just because she piqued my interest. She did that with the Instagram posts. Her name's Jen. I feel awful that I haven't taken a note of what her actual name is, but it's Choice Hacking. You can find her on Instagram and LinkedIn and probably Facebook as well. What Choice Hacking did was they taught me something that I could immediately apply. So they're targeting marketers, customer experience people, user experience people. And in the Instagram posts, it was stuff that I could go away and immediately apply within my work that week. And then I saw the output of that, because I did. I have applied a few things that I've learned from the Instagram. And I'm like, wow, okay, that worked. I want to know more. And it's because it worked. I saw the tangible output. I saw that physical thing that happened because I got involved. I learned something and I applied it and it worked. And I got that really quick. It was an endorphin hit. It was making me go, yeah, that worked. Brilliant. I want to know more. I want to do more of it now. And now I'm listening to the podcast. Some of the topics are a little bit more detached from my day job, but they still give me food for thought. And I know full well that now if I go and do a training course or something similar, the outputs again will take me longer to get to. But I have that sense of reward from the first little Instagram post that made me go, oh, I can do this. This is worth it. And I think that is what we are missing in learning teams. We miss that initial part that proves to our people, hey, this is worthwhile. You should get involved in this. This is going to give you X, Y, and Z benefits. So how can we incorporate that into our learning functions? Well, I'm sure if I've got any instructional designers listening or learning experience designers, you're probably like, we could do this in all these different ways and we can give people that opportunity to go and apply during learning. And sure, I'm sure that all of those are brilliant. I'm not a learning experience designer, so you also might be saying, yeah, Han, you can't do any of that. But I think the way we can do this in learning is through marketing for learning. In marketing, we have this thing called content marketing. And content marketing is essentially giving away some of your IP. It's giving away some of your thoughts and your ideas. This podcast, our blogs, our ebooks, we're always giving away our ideas here at Mass. And that is a marketing approach. So you might listen to one of these podcasts and go, oh, I'm going to go and apply that right now. I've had messages from so many of you that are like, Han, I've tried this marketing campaign. I sent an email for better subject line. I've developed out my learner personas. You've got to wait and you've realised that it works. That might then give you that little boost that goes, oh, I want to learn more about marketing for learning. Or maybe you want to get in touch with us and you want to work with us. But it gives you that little hit. And you can do that in your learning function. Say you have a 6-week program that's all about project management, for example. Why not share with your target audience, the people you want to get involved in your program, a little carousel, one screen, a short email. Try this. See if it works. You're still tapping into the what's in it for me and the pain points and the wants and needs that we've discussed on all the episodes of this podcast so far. But you're giving them something tangible that almost solves at least part of their problem straight away. And in doing that, you're proving to them that you are the expert, that what you're saying does work, and that they should trust you. Then, because they've seen that impact, it's easier for them to trust you longer term while they're going through your learning intervention. Marketing is a lot about building trust and relationship with people. And I truly believe that if we kind of think about the Pinocchio protocol, we think about giving them something that proves immediately a tangible benefit or an impact of what they're doing, they'll come back to us because we've proved it works once. They'll come back time and time again. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast and my little story of me being a learner. And I hope it gives you some food for thought about how we can kind of hook our audience in a bit more and build that trust with them that we need if we want their full attention long term. I'm sure you guys have way more ideas, especially from the learning design point of view, about how we can give them that immediacy of outputs. Show them that this works straight away up front at the beginning of a learning intervention. And if you do, I would love to hear them. If you're up for it, you can come on the podcast and share your ideas with everybody else. I would absolutely love that. But I've given you one way that you can do that and you can give that immediacy just through marketing. So why not give it a go? Why not let this be the thing that shows to you, oh wait, that does work. What have you got to lose? We've spoken about it a lot on the podcast. We need to learn through trying. So why not try it out? As always, I have loved talking to you all today. If you have any comments, questions, ideas, any ways that you can apply the Pinocchio protocol and you want to share them with everybody else on the podcast, get in touch. I genuinely love hearing from you guys. But if not, I will see you next Friday on the Marketing for Learning podcast. See you later, guys.